hypocrites. And we are not trying to deceive anyone. We don't want to keep people, hoping. And I'm telling you, watch this space. The big fallout will come from the UDA team. Once the people who have been lied to that they're going to be the deputy president and they are quietly there positioning themselves, and they show on them, you will see what will happen. On our side, we have decided to be transparent, and I also want to assure Mutula Kilonzo here.
Interview? Are you going to do a public interview?
The details will follow.
That is the details will follow. If you are going to do a public interview, then that will give us transparency. At least we have given
a panel who is in that secret meeting that you're... Okay. I want to assure Mutula Kilonzo something here. That one, for sure, Kalonzo Musyoka and Raila Amolo Odinga, they normally have tea. One of the most respected person in the council and in our coalition is one Kalonzo Musyoka. And one person who is a big pillar in Azimio, and a person who will not want even to upset, and the person who want to treat well, is one Kalonzo Musyoka. So please do not allow these insiders on this side to come in between us. We have a relationship. Sometimes things don't go the way we plan them to be. But once we are able to work together, and when things are not going our way, we just sit down, retreat, and ask ourselves what is the best way forward. And instead of going to look for people speaking in public, it's good for our house to come together and speak. But I want to assure him, it is not the first time they will have tea. I know even maybe tomorrow, even maybe tonight, they are having tea. You never know. So these people meet, they are big boys, and they know their way around. And so let's Murkomen and his team here to come and decide what is good for our coalition. First, tell us your deputy president.
Mutula, what is that thing that, from where you sit, you say Kalonzo is being treated not well, and supposing Azimio comes up with another candidate that is not Kalonzo?
Or comes up with Kalonzo as a candidate?
What will happen
I'm speaking now globally and also addressing the question of Kalonzo. There is a reason, and I said the Jubilee fallout is a very bad example.
Correct.
And a very bad example to use on how to pick or not pick a deputy presidential candidate. Because I've said this, James Smart, that I am concerned as a Kenyan and a legal practitioner that the instability in the country and the quarrel between the deputy president and the president is something that should worry all of us. Because the minute you pick a deputy presidential candidate, you have told the country that in the case of incapacity, infirmity, death, resignation, that person ought to take over office in place of you for 90 days. It's a very key decision.
No, permanently.
No,
90 days.
Yeah, permanently. So it is a very conscious decision. And you speak to the public and telling them, you have elected me to be a president. And this person who I'm going to be with is a person who can easily become a president in my absence. Now, what is it that the framers of the Constitution were trying to walk away from? You remember the Saitoti debacle.
Correct.
The country remained without a vice president for a long time. And Moi, somewhere in, may his soul rest in peace, someone said, oh, you just want a vice president? I will appoint somebody. Just pick somebody. We are trying to walk away from those things. And those impressions that a deputy presidential candidate is a person you pick off the streets, place him on a seat and tell him, okay, sit there, listen, and when I send you, go.
And read newspapers.
That sort of thing. That is why it has become, it's become very difficult to run the country in the framework of the new constitution, because you can't just bump off your deputy president. It's not possible because it's a historical issue. And we are trying to address that for people who are thinking that we needed stability in the country. Therefore, in both cases, if you do not manage the process well, the famous saying that you are damned if you do and damned if you don't. Why am I saying so? Because I had a conversation even in the Senate recently where people say, one senator said, I will not mention him, that we don't want a forced marriage. Now, if you end up in a forced marriage because of circumstances, because of numbers, because of victory, because of managing public perceptions, you end up in office with a bad relationship.
Isn't that what's happening now?
And that is what I am talking about. I'm not talking about the transparency and openness. Of course, you need to be open, you need to be transparent. The Sabina Chege, where Sabina Chege comes from, and it's important you address those issues. Where Sabina Chege comes from, both in the side of Murkomen and on the side of Azimio, They are saying, and I'm talking about Muranga, it's our time. So people are managing expectations. And in managing expectations, you must manage people.
Okay.
So that when, if Sabina Chege decides, and she has decided, and I asked her when we walked in here, you mean while you were sleeping, you got a voice telling you not to vie? How did you get, how did you arrive at that decision? You see, Azimio must manage the expectations of the supporters of Sabina.
Okay. In the unlikely event.
In the unlikely event,
I did not promise them anything.
No, no, I'm saying, no, let me finish.
Supporters, I have
no, assuming
you to be deputy president.
Assuming.
And I have not given a condition. And that's why I say I am supporting Azimio 100%, not because of me.
Right.
But because of what I believe
whatever
in.
happens.
And so whatever happens.
No, you're fine and you're happy.
The whole issue is for us is to deliver a win, and that is the first
Mutula is
priority.
saying it was not just the Holy Spirit.
To come in here, he himself here is a governor. And that's why I said we are losing the direction of this show.
No, I was.
Because I've been
you
in
didn't
the
wait
media
me to finish.
when we were given the topic for this show, what coming
Running
back and running mate, not Kalonzo.
But Kalonzo is the main guy.
What do you mean? Who is your main guy?
The real deal.
Who is your main guy? Is it regarding?
With all due respect,
So can we just go back and ask ourselves then, what should candidates, as you are saying, yes, you have the gut feeling, you have whatever it's personal and everything else, but what should candidates look for? So don't worry about how we do. Don't worry about what we are doing.
Don't worry
about what we are doing.
Lose what Mutula said about.
Can you say 10 seconds?
Yes, 10 seconds. I really think that this Azimio relationship is an abusive relationship before even it starts. And the danger with that kind of abusive relationship is that when by the time you get that person to government, the people of Kenya should not give them a chance. Because if they do, it will be worse than this Uhuru-Ruto.